1-2 pitch. There it is!
The Yankees are worse off than they were last year, and that's a good thing for almost everybody. The Yankees are coming off a great season where they won 94 games and made it to the ALDS. The problem for them is that all the success ended there. We've all seen the Vlad Jr. Grand Slam over and over, kind of symbolizing what that series really was, a crushing defeat for the Yankees. After the fact, a lot of naturally angry fans were ready to see big change made to make this team that much better. I mean, that's what they always do, right? This is the Bronx Bombers we're talking about. The rich, scary pinstripes that always steal a star over the course of the offseason. Whether it's Juan Soto, Max Fried, this is what we're accustomed to seeing out of the Yankees. But this time it never came. Some fans thought that Kyle Tucker would be on his way. That never happened. Some thought Framber Valdez. That never happened. Okay, fine. They don't want to spend money. They turn to the trade market to find players on more favorable deals. Edward Cabrera, Mackenzie Gore, Freddie Peralta. All three of these players were linked to the Yankees, and yet it doesn't sound like the Yankees even came close to a deal with any of them, really. So what does this mean? The Yankees are wrapping up their offseason by bringing back some familiar faces from last year, with the largest contract going to Cody Bellinger at 5 years, $162.5 million. I don't want to touch on this too much, but there's a lot of question marks as to if Bellinger is really that kind of player to get this kind of contract. Quite frankly, a lot of the signs point to no, including his Baseball Savant page, where he doesn't look that special. The bottom line is that nothing has changed in this lineup. There is, of course, a lot of discourse as to whether or not this is a viable plan, which is just running it back with the same squad. But as a biased Jays fan, you know the last time I remember a competitive team running it back with virtually the same team? Well, the 2023 Blue Jays were pretty good, so the front office didn't do too much that winter. And what did that give us? A quite honestly terrible team. There are obvious caveats to this, like no one saw George Springer falling off a table in 2024, no one saw the bullpen spontaneously collapsing, and nobody saw Bo Bichette becoming a shell of himself and only playing half the games. Of course, it was not entirely management's fault, but when you run it back with the same squad that just saw moderate success, it's hard to expect major improvement to any capacity. Personally, the way I view baseball teams is that if you're not getting better, you are inherently getting worse, as other teams will still look to improve. You don't even have to look far to find those other teams getting better. Look at the entire AL East. The Blue Jays went ahead and signed Dylan Cease, Tyler Rogers, and more. The Orioles signed Pete Alonso and traded for Taylor Ward and Shane Baz. The Red Sox have a young core that's naturally on the rise, and the Rays, they're just the Rays. They will pick up a couple of random players to turn into stars and give you a heart attack every time you play them. They just do it, and it scares me, to be honest. Basically, the whole division has done something to improve, and the Yankees are pretty much just putting on the same shoes as yesterday. Are the Yankees doomed? No, probably not. They still spend a good chunk over $300 million on their roster and have Garrett Cole returning to their rotation. There are ways for the Yankees to have a good year. All I'm saying is that they are as unstable as ever. It could take one more major pitching injury to, say, Max Fried, or maybe even a regression from Aaron Judge. The guy is turning 34 this season, and I just wonder how it could affect the team if he doesn't put up an MVP season for a change. It just feels like overall, this team got a year older, and that's it. And for a team that isn't comprised of a young core, that's not exactly what you want. Maybe this is an overreaction. Maybe they safely make the playoffs again. Maybe they win the AL East. But maybe, just maybe, this Yankees team is simply an aging core that could severely disappoint this season. Or perhaps, I'm just a biased Jays fan. Thanks for watching, and hey, consider subscribing.